Host Miss Amber J, and this is the Dear World Podcast, the place that if you drink your water and mind your business, you'll be just fine. We're all family here, so nothing is off limits. The goal of this podcast is to be relatable, transparent, and honest. Please turn on your notifications so that you will be alerted whenever a new episode has been posted. Don't forget to rate the podcast in your app store and share it with your family and friends. I hope that you enjoy your listening experience, and welcome to the family. I'm super excited to say this. Welcome to season 5 of the Dear World Podcast. In case you didn't know, I'm your host, Miss Amber J. If this is your first time listening, welcome to the family. I can't front with y'all because we're family and that's against the G code. So when I say I needed that 2-week break, I needed that 2-week break. I was feeling depleted. Season 4 was one of the most difficult seasons for me to record for several reasons, but now I feel rejuvenated, revived. My creativity is flowing. I was trying to say my creative juices, but my creativity is flowing came out, but y'all know what I mean. And I just feel like I'm ready to take on the world, not the city, Craig, the world. I have several different topics I want to discuss this season. The world is literally on fire right now. There are so many things going on. By the way, Corona, bitch, we're tired of you. Go home. But I'm ready. I'm excited, and I hope that y'all are excited. And I just want to take a brief moment to thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank you for tuning in every week, even when I got inconsistent with when the podcast was going to be released. Thank you to everyone who has shared the episodes, who have just motivated me to keep going. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much. Just a few housekeeping things before we dive into the episode. Episodes will now air every Wednesday. I know we got used to every Tuesday. Then it was kind of Amber releases the episode whenever she feels like it. We're back on routine shit, okay? Every Wednesday, tune in. Also, you can catch these episodes on YouTube as well. And then we still will have bonus episodes. And bonus episodes, again, do not count towards the regular season. And just as a little reminder, because I know some of us are a little forgetful, seasons are 10 episodes long, and then we do a 2-week break. So those bonus episodes will not count towards the regular season, and bonus episodes will also be shorter. All right, now that we got all that housekeeping stuff out the way, let's jump into this episode. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Let's talk about it. Black Lives Matter was founded in 2013 in response to George Zimmerman being acquitted for the murder of Trayvon Martin. The organization was founded by Alicia Garza, Patrisse Cullors, and Opal Tometi. Black Lives Matter is aiming for the world to be a place where Black lives are no longer systemically targeted for demise. The goal of Black Lives Matter is to eradicate white supremacy and to build local power to intervene in violence inflicted on Black communities by state and vigilantes. And when we're talking about vigilantes, we're referring to the George Zimmermans of the world, the Karens of the world, the barbecue Beckys of the world. Black Lives Matter believe that all Black lives matter across all gender spectrums. If you are interested in learning more about Black Lives Matter or you want to take action, please visit the website www.blacklivesmatter.com. Now that we have an understanding of what Black Lives Matter is, why it was established, what the movement is about, let's talk about people who combat Black Lives Matter by saying all lives matter and blue lives matter. I'm actively trying not to be disrespectful or condescending because I feel that when you disagree with something, you don't have to disrespect a person or call them out of their names. So for all of the people who believe in these counter movements, how can all lives matter when it's still evident in this country and around the world that people think that Black lives don't matter? That's the whole point of saying Black Lives Matter, because we want our lives to matter as much as other people's lives matter. And then fuck it, we can say all lives matter once people start to realize that Black lives matter. I would like to sit down and have a conversation with the individual or individuals who started Blue Lives Matter. I didn't even look it up because it's not even important to me, because I think it's a stupid movement, but I want to know their logic behind it. And how can you compare Blue Lives Matter to Black Lives Matter? Blue life, you can take off that uniform and no one will know that you are a police officer. But I can't unzip my skin as a Black person and decide that I don't want to be Black today. Hey you, are you looking to make a podcast but don't know how to get started? Anchor is the easiest way. First and foremost, my favorite part is free $99. That's right, it's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or PC so that it sounds great. Anchor will even distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Outside of people belittling the Black Lives Matter movement, we also have to deal with the type of people who say, well, what about black on black crime? Personally, it makes my blood boil when people bring up black on black crime when we're discussing the Black Lives Matter movement. And when we're specifically discussing police brutality as it pertains to black people, we always have an abundance of people who love to say, well, that person shouldn't have resisted. That person shouldn't have gotten smart with the officer. That person should have did what the officer asked. Well, we don't know what happened prior to what was recorded and released by the media, so we can't say if they were wrongfully murdered. I try my best to have a well-rounded understanding of things. So with that, I try to see things outside of my own perspective and outside of my own understanding. And sometimes it takes me a while to do that because I'm very stubborn. I'm human, family. Sometimes it takes me a minute to get it together and be like, okay, let me look at it from this person's viewpoint. But in instances like this, I find it very difficult to wrap my mind around the way people think. I find it difficult to wrap my mind around the fact that people are defending and trying to justify the murder of George Floyd, that people are offended that there are protests taking place across not just America, but across the world because we're fed up of these injustices. We're tired of white supremacy. We're tired of these vigilantes. We're tired of police brutality. But there's always a group of people who defend this shit. And that's what I don't understand. America, we say Black Lives Matter for people like Gazelle Ford, Tamir Rice, Walter Scott, Dominique Clayton, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd. America, we say Black Lives Matter because people like Dylan Ruth can walk into a church and kill several people with a semi-automatic weapon, but be escorted into police custody with a bulletproof vest on. America, we say Black Lives Matter because we are tired of being persecuted. We're tired of being questioned. We're tired of being murdered simply because of the color of our skin. So again, I asked, how can all lives matter if there's still a large percentage of people that don't understand that Black lives matter? Lastly, I know that a lot of protests have turned violent. I know a lot of people have started to loot, but please do not let that obscure your vision of the message that protesters are trying to convey. If you would like to join a cause, some of the resources that you can utilize are Community Bail Funds, Color of Change, Campaign Zero, and again, blacklivesmatter.com. America, I seriously pray that Black lives begin to matter before another Black life is taken. Today's quote comes from Otis S. Johnson. If you believe in a cause, be willing to stand up for that cause with 1 million people or by yourself. Well, family, that's all for today. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Do me a favor, share it with a family member or a friend. Again, I'm your host, Miss Amber J, and this is the Dear World Podcast. Drink your water, mind your business.